Let's get it going. What's up? What's up? Melanated family. Melanated family. How's everybody doing? Look, so check it out, man. Real quick video. I always say real quick, but it ends up being a little bit longer. But check it out. It's it's um it's very important to me that men, all my melanated brothers, get a clear idea of what it means to live your truth in a relationship. So we're gonna speak specifically about this can apply to everything in your life. We'll get to the different aspects that this can go into, but I'm talking specifically about a relationship with your woman, right? Your woman, a woman. So we need to get into just real quickly. What are some signs to let you know that you actually live in your truth in a relationship, right? Because I'm talking to my fellas today. I'm gonna be kind of harsh with my fellas today. So let's get it going, man. No, none of that sensitive shit. You know what I mean? Sometime we put things on women when we're in a relationship, when things go wrong, when certain things are happening with your baby mama or the woman you have chosen, because it is the woman you chose. Sometimes we unfairly put some of this shit on women. So today we're gonna get it right. So let's go. First off, because I'm going to break down a small list of how a man can know if you live in your truth in a relationship. There's actually some signs to let you know if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You feel me? First off, we always got to keep in mind, like the melanated convo, I'm always going to keep the same perspective. When it comes to a young man knowing how to conduct himself in a relationship, the first person he's going to learn this from should be his father. And unfortunately, because of a lot of the shit we've had to go through, because of the single parent home rate, because of just men in general, sometimes don't see fit to be certain type of fathers, whether they live in a home or not, right? But we need to keep it real. When it comes to how a man conducts himself with a woman, for the most part, that should be learned from a man himself. And men, if you got sons, keep in mind, don't be on no stupid shit where you think I'm gonna tell my sons how to maneuver with a woman. Like I'm gonna tell him how to love a woman. I'm gonna tell him how to conduct himself with women. You can do that, but more than anything, he gonna watch what you doing. You feel me? He gonna watch how you actually conduct yourself with your woman, with the women you choose to have in your life. You feel me? So let's get into it. Knowing that as men, so if I got younger dudes listening, you're not a father yet, listen up. Some of the older brothers, my age, you 40 and over, you got kids, you got sons, you don't know, you don't understand why your son may be a player or why your son may be out there dirty macking with hella kids, lying to women, living off of abroad. We're gonna talk about all that. Like all that's important. And we gotta call ourselves to task because at the end of the day, the relationships that we have with women are all based on how we interact with women. If we changed a lot of the things we did, we would get different results. You feel me? So let's get into it. So the first sign that you a man, but you're not living your truth. Well, shit, if you're not living your truth, can you call yourself a man? You feel me? So let's get into it. What is the first sign that a man is not living his truth? The first sign I would say that a man is not living his truth when it comes to relationships, let's be specific. When it comes to relationships, are you with a particular woman because you relied on the woman? Let's keep it real. Do you rely on the woman financially? Like, are you in a position? Are you in a position that the only reason why you with the woman or the biggest appeal of this woman is she's helping you out financially? I don't care what nobody say. That shit is feminine. If you are in a relationship where y'all paying 50-50, that's cool. You in a relationship where sometimes you may not have it for some reason and your woman have to step up. That should be rare, just to keep it real. That should be rare, but your woman have to step up and give you something. Cool. You give it back to her. Y'all do it however y'all decided to do it. But in essence, you shouldn't be around a woman just because of what she can do for you. That's the point. If the selection, if the woman you selected is based on the fact that she giving you a place to live or she helping you out, you ain't got no job or you're not doing shit financially and she helping you out, that's some sucker shit. You need to realize you need to get off your ass, get your own job, get your own source of income so you don't have to rely on a woman at all. So then if you remove the relying piece in that regard, then your selection process will be different because it won't be based on nothing but the attributes you think a woman should truly have, not based on some shit that you lack it. You see what I'm saying? So now the next sign that you may be a man that aren't living your truth, the next sign that you a man that's not living your truth, right? Because as men, that should be the goal ultimately, to be able to lead our families, lead our women. And I promise you, family, it's extremely hard to do that shit if you're not living your truth in living in your true essence, whatever that may be. You see what I'm saying? Even though we should be striving to do better, whatever that may be. You know what I mean? The second sign that you're not living your truth. If the woman you selected came out of pure convenience, if the woman you selected came because you was doing bad at a particular time in your life, if the woman you selected was based on the fact that you needed something at a particular time and she was there for you, if the woman you selected was based on the fact that y'all had a one-night stand and she got pregnant, now there's a baby on the way, and now this is the woman you selecting to be with long term, right? All of these are signs that you a man that's not living in your truth. Because if that was the case, you would be in a position, if you were living your truth, let's keep it real, you would be in a position where you wouldn't have to do anything like that, where you wouldn't have to choose a woman based on convenience, where you wouldn't put yourself in a position where you out here raw dogging, throwing your goddamn dick on the crap table, proverbially, like throwing your that's that sounds fucked up, but that's exactly what you're doing when you out here having sex with women raw, not thinking about what the future may hold, not thinking about the consequences. Once you have sex with a woman raw, the control is out of your hands, fellas. I know a lot of men get upset with women who are pregnant and you threatening them and you doing all this sucker shit, when in actuality she's pregnant, she's having a baby simply because of the action you took, simply because you having sex raw. That's where it comes from. Of course, as a man, you want to tell a woman, look, y'all may have talked about it. Boom. If we get pregnant, if you end up pregnant, we too young, we don't have money. You could have came to that agreement. And can you say yes? If a woman agreed with me that we weren't going to start our family this way and we still end up doing it that way, can I be a little upset at her for being dishonest? Maybe a little bit. But if you wanted to prevent it, all you had to do was wear a condom. I repeat, if you wanted to prevent being in a situation where a woman is going to have a baby by you and you're not sure if you're ready or you're not sure if you even like her, that shit's your fault because you're having sex unprotected. I'm sorry, fellas. Of course, now we always got to keep in mind, we have a condom, which is one form of birth control for us. Even though women have 30 plus fucking options of birth control, we'll get into that in another video. Today, I'm talking strictly to my fellas. So that's the sign number 2. That's sign number 2. If you a man that's not living your truth in a relationship, we all should be truthful with who we are. If we strive to be as truthful and honest with ourselves about who we are, that shit will radiate into the world and you'll be able to get any woman you want, any job you want, as much money as you want. I promise you. You feel me? So number 3, the third sign that you may be a man that's not living your truth. If your relationships, if the women you interact with, the women you meet, the dates you go on, women you have sex with, if that's more important than your purpose, if you spending more time having sex and chasing women than you are chasing whatever your purpose is, this is a sign that you're not living your truth, right? Because for men, this is one of the biggest, and I'm speaking to my brothers, I'm speaking to men from my community, I'm speaking to the men that I've had the pleasure of interacting with in my life. One of the biggest problems they end up having is they chasing pussy before they're chasing their purpose. This happens far too often. They spend their teenage years, they spend their young 20s pretty much going wherever they think they can get the best sex, allowing the allure of sex and what a woman can provide for you sexually to take over your damn mind, where this is all you thinking about, where you probably working a bullshit job, but you out every weekend looking for pussy. You working a bullshit job, ain't chasing no kind of dream, but you arguing with this chick on the phone every other day. This is all bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is a sign that you a man that's not chasing your purpose. Let's keep it 100. Whatever your purpose is, family, you could want to be a damn a business owner. You can want to be a damn professional fisherman. Shit, you can have a job that you actually love, so you striving to put yourself in the best position to be a supervisor, to be a superintendent, to be someone who moves up. You could be saving to get a little business cracking. You could be starting something online. Whatever the case may be, you want to have time for your relationship and your woman, right? But your mentality should always be, if you're not chasing your purpose, the relationship ain't gonna work anyways. If you're not a man that's seeking to get something out of life, like have a mission of where you want to go, if that's not your vibe, then a woman ain't gonna really want to fuck with you like that anyway. Not no woman that you trying to find. You see what I'm saying? Because again, we're not talking about settling. I mean, this is no shots at nobody, but we're not talking about settling. We're talking about actually taking the time to select a partner the correct way, because we all know, even when you do it the right way, there can still be mistakes and hiccups. But I'm tired of my brothers going through all this bullshit when all we got to do is calm down and chase our purpose. Then we'll get any kind of woman we want. We'll get as much money as we want. But we far too often chase pussy before the purpose. So now we got kids before we ready. Now we got financial obligations before we ready. Now some of my brothers got cases with these women because you didn't know how to handle your emotion, because you a man who don't got nothing. You a man who ain't been striving for nothing. So when a woman talks shit to you about the fact that you don't got money or you don't got nothing, you go off the deep end and end up hitting her. All sucker shit. You see what I'm saying? So we're having a conversation about, how do you know if you're a man who's chasing your purpose? How do you know if you're on a purposeful mission? You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of my brothers aren't, young and old. A lot of us, and I'm get mad at myself sometimes for coming to the realization of these things so late in life. My opinion. Now, granted, to be positive about it, there's never too late to learn anything. I get that, but we need to like hone in on these type of principles for our young men. When you're in your when you're in your late teens, early 20s, these years should be spent figuring out who you are, going to school, chasing a business proposition, traveling. Like all of this time should be spent figuring out what your purpose is. If you haven't discovered what your purpose is yet, you shouldn't be having children. Now, we're not speaking in absolutes. I'm not saying that if a young dude has a kid and he ain't got no money, he ain't got no car, and he has a kid, that kid is destined to have a fucked up life. I'm not saying that, but you're making it a lot harder. This is that you're making it a lot harder by not putting yourself in the proper position. So you can complain about the woman, you can complain about child support, you can complain about all this shit, but a lot of times it's the position that you putting yourself in, regardless of what it may be. So I think the best way to prevent some of this shit is to chase your purpose, is to know what you living for. Like how do you know you living the life you supposed to be living? Like, how do you know you live in your truth? Truth is the key word for this entire conversation, because sometimes we get it confused. As men, we get it confused about, you know what I mean, how we should approach the dating process. You know what I mean? So living your truth is really the only way we should approach dating a woman. So next thing, so we got into 3 things so far. The first thing, when it comes to how you know you live in your truth or not living your truth. If you're relying on a woman for finances, you're not living your truth. If you're relying on a woman for finances, for a place to live, for any of these things, you're not living your truth. Picking a partner, that's the first thing. Second thing is picking a partner based on convenience. Did you pick your partner based on the fact that she was pregnant? Did you pick your partner based on the fact that you was on your ass? You just got out of jail. You ain't had no money. You ain't have no place to live. Let's keep it real. You may be doing what you have to do, but this is toxic, and this shit is going to end badly in most cases. You see what I'm saying? Did you pick a woman because you had a one-night stand with her and she got pregnant? See? Did you pick a woman because you ain't been able to boss up in your life and get the woman that you really want, so you settling for the woman that's around you because you just want to have sex, because you just want to have a mate? Like, let's keep it real. How many black men actually do this? You see what I'm saying? Then you want to complain about the number of kids you got. You want to complain about how your baby mama look or how she acts or anything about her, when in actuality, you chose your baby mama. Can I say that again? The woman you have a kid with, family, you actually chose her. A man around you, your uncle, your brother, your daddy, somebody need to tell you that. That's the hard truth. The woman you in a relationship with, you chose her. If you're complaining later about things you found out about her, I still say at times it's your fault, because let's keep it real. Sometimes we ignore shit so we can have sex. We ignore shit because we enjoy how things feel with a woman. I'm going to keep it PG as possible. You feel me? But that's a truth that we have to understand. See? And this is knowing who you are. So that's the third thing. The third thing, like I said, is your purpose has to be more important in your relationship. Yes, you love your woman. If you end up having a baby, you got to love your baby. But if you're not chasing your purpose, when we're talking about generational wealth, when we're talking about giving our women and our children the best life possible, This has to come from you chasing your purpose. If you're not a person that was born into money, if generational wealth wasn't just accumulated in your family already, if you black, you come from a particular neighborhood like I do, you got to create that shit yourself. And it's difficult. And it's difficult to create generational wealth, and it's difficult to create a business acumen when you wasn't raised around it, when you steadily putting yourself in horrible positions by fucking up in your relationship, by having a baby with somebody you don't know, by putting a woman in a situation where you lying to her all the time, where you mistreating her all the time, simply because you don't know who you is, right? So that's 4 things. 4 things to know if you a man who not living your truth. The first is you relying on a woman for finances or anything in that realm. The second is you choosing a woman based on convenience, meaning you didn't pick her based on the fact that you had a long conversation with her. You took a lot of time to date her. You took a lot of time to get to know her. This ain't what you choosing her off of. You choosing her based on the fact that she's pregnant, or you choosing her based on the fact that you need somebody to live with. Let's keep that shit real. If we know men who are conducting themselves this way, we got to get at them. Because to me, they fucking up the community for everybody. Like, we need to be, look, y'all know on this show, I'm hell on racism. I'm hell on the systematic endeavors that put us in the situation we in. I'm aware of all that. But let's put that to the side for a minute. How we treat our women, how we go about choosing women, a lot of that needs to change. And we can start with our kids. You got kids? Talk about this kind of shit with your kids. You got nephews, young cousins, talk about this kind of shit with your young cousins. You feel me? Make sure they understand that player shit is kind of played out. Like, let's keep it real. I grew up thinking if you a player, that means you have a whole bunch of women, right? The end. Player meant you have a whole bunch of women, you juggling women, having sex with who you want to have sex with. There's like a bravado attached to this shit, right? Well, here's what I'm gonna say about that. There's actually a way to do that. If you want to be a man who does not want to commit himself, that's the $1 million question sometime for men. Women, if you listening to this, know this, right? If you a man, a lot of times, not speaking in absolutes, but a lot of times, your dick gets you into a lot of problems. Just on some real shit. Why? Because you're not living your truth. You live in your truth through sexuality and through shit that's frivolous, and that's not gonna get you nowhere. When in actuality, some real player shit is not lying at all. Real player shit is putting yourself in a position in your life where you don't need nothing from a woman but her companionship, her love, and her friendship. The shit may sound corny, family, but if you need a woman for anything else than that, that's a sign that you're not whole. You feel me? That's a sign that you don't know who you are. That's a sign that you looking for things in a woman that you should have in yourself already. And this is going to be destructive. Now, we know women do these type of things. And I'm going to do another show about the negativity of, or the negative attributes of a woman approaching shit from a certain way. But we started, fellas. Let's keep it real. How a relationship go, the temperament of the relationship, the flow of the relationship, all of this is conducted by men. This is why we propose. This is why when you a kid, you give her the note saying check yes or no if you want to be with me. Let's keep it real. That shit is based on we should be leading. And you can lead a woman into some happy, blissful shit where you guys live your best life, or you could be leading her into turmoil. It's kind of like a choice you have to make. You know what I mean? So the last thing, and I kind of just touched on it, but the last thing to know, if you are a man who's living your truth, how do you know you live in your truth in relationships? The last way to know, and probably the biggest way to know if you're living your truth in relationships. Again, this can apply to every part of life. We'll do shows that attack certain aspects of your life. But in relationships specifically, how do you know you live in your truth? The fifth and final way, I think, probably the biggest, is if you're lying. Fellas, if you a man, and this is a hard truth I had to learn myself over years and just getting the proper edification and understanding. You know what I mean? If you live in a lie, if you a dude who is in a committed relationship, and I know a lot of my brothers ain't gonna want to hear this, but this is real shit on this platform. I'm never gonna lie. I'm never gonna act like I'm I'm always keep it 100% real, right? If you lying to a woman, if you got a woman that you are committed to, that she thinks you're committed to, and you on the side fucking with hella different tricks or hella different chicks. This is not being a player. This is dirty macking. This is actually being a liar in a deceitful motherfucker. This is actually a feminine attribute. I know you don't want to hear that, fellas. I know you don't want to hear that. I know it seems like such machismo when you see it in the videos, when you hear the rappers talk about it, when you hear certain men from our community. But let me be the first to tell you, all that shit sucker shit. That's feminine. A real player tell women the truth. How about that? A real player give women the option. This is what I'm into. I like you, but this is how I want to move forward. I'm not just seeing you. I'm seeing her, and her. Now, of course, if you're going to be a brother who wants to date multiple women, of course, we was just talking about condoms and babies. You need to be safe because you don't want to have a baby with a woman that you just randomly having sex with, or y'all getting to know each other. But a part of that getting to knowing process is being sexually active. Cool. But the bottom line is you shouldn't be lying to nobody. That's the moral of the goddamn story. If you're a man, you shouldn't be lying to nobody. If you're in a relationship and you lying about where you go, if you lying about who you was with last night, if you meet a woman and you lie to her about you being in a relationship, if you lie to her about what your intentions are, all this shit is dirty, macking, and cowardly. I know it hurts, fellas. I know it hurts. I know it's attached to your bravado to a degree. I'm talking I'm talking to me right now too. I had to learn this. This was something as a kid. Of course, my dad wasn't there. I had brothers and cousins and shit. Nobody kept it real with me like this. Everybody treated sexual escapades and sexual prowess like a badge of honor, when in actuality, all it does is fucks up your focus and bring kids in the world. That's all it does. I wish somebody would have told me, nigga, focus on starting a business. Because this what I tell my youngest son. Because this revelation came later in life. I tell my other kids now, but they're a little older. It's not too late for them, but they're set in their ways a little more. They listen to me, but this is real shit. If you really want the woman that you want, chase your purpose. If you chase what you should be doing with your life, anything that's for you will come into your life. I think a lot of times men will look at a woman they think is beautiful. Keep it in mind, beauty is an eye to beholder. I've seen beautiful women who ain't shit mentally, so that don't mean nothing. But I've seen men who want something, like they'll see a kind of woman that they want, right? Based on how she looks, based on her stature in society. And a man will say, well, I can't have her, or she'll seem unattainable to you, right? You know, the reality of it is she's not unattainable. You only feel that way because you're not chasing your purpose, whatever that may be, see? Because we're not living our life comparing what we have or what we don't have to other people, right? If you're a man, you shouldn't be looking at a rapper or athlete or entertainer, a doctor or a lawyer. You shouldn't be looking at any other man comparing notes about you to them. Your name is you. Like my name is Harrison. That's me. Ain't no other Harrison Andersons out here. God damn it. That's me. So I'm actually in a race when it comes to my success, in my purpose, where I go, what I do. I'm in a race with me, right? I'm looking at my track record. What have I done well? What haven't I done well? What are my weak spots? How can I improve those? I'm not looking outside of myself. That's how you get all fucked up. I'm not looking outside of myself. If his car, his Benz, I'm a congratulator. Never been a hater. I'm all congratulator. When I see somebody doing well, my first thought is, that's motivation. That shit, I like that. Like that brother doing something. He following his purpose. He chasing his purpose. Now, we're not going to get caught up in materialistic shit because we don't know who keeping up with the Joneses and who really doing what. See, that's why you should get caught up in any of that. I just use it all as motivation. Because a lot of times what we don't give credit to, when we see a brother with a nice car, or we see a brother with a lot of money, even like putting the superficial to the side, when we see a brother in his position, a lot of times it's just a sign of hard work. See, think about it like that sometime. Don't think about it like, don't be on no hating shit like how this nigga get that. No. A lot of times it's a sign of him chasing his purpose. It's a sign of hard work, and his hard work paid off. It just paid off monetarily. You see what I'm saying? So look, family, you got little cousins, you got little brothers, get them off that stupid shit. Having random babies around town is negatively affecting all of us. because you have these random babies. You mix that with the fact that you didn't have a father. Now you being a bad father. Now we got to watch out for the little nigga you created, because he going to be the one bucking at us in the neighborhood. He going to be the one we got to worry about selling the dope. Let's just keep it real, family. See? Let's just keep it real. We have to unpack what we teach our kids and how we go about certain shit. And I'm aware of this, and this is all necessary. But just man to man, stop it. Stop it. There's nothing wrong with having one woman. There's nothing wrong with having one woman and standing on that. But make sure that's who you are. See? Make sure that's who you are. I know too many dudes who will preach that to me, and I'm trying to tell them, hey, men, not all men cheat, but goddamn it, a lot of them, for a lot of reasons that we can go over, but it's a lot of reasons. You see what I'm saying? Understand that. Understand that. Don't be a man that you say one thing and then do another. I know this hurts, but this is the truth, family. If you want to be a player, if you want to be a man that has multiple women, that he has the option to have sex with if he won't, to date if he won't, there's a way to do it. Just don't get in a serious relationship. Establish your own shit. So you got your own spot, got your own car, got your own money. So only thing you need women for is a companionship, a friendship. Long as you keep it real with them, long as you tell them exactly how you feel, long as you tell them exactly what's going on. Mark my words, some women gonna still be cool with it. Some women will say, okay, I'll accept that. You may think, based on being scared, based on being subject to like how this society rears men, like on some real shit, society as a whole kind of rears us to be pussies. This whole happy wife, happy life shit. Now, to me, the idea of that, I understand, but bigger than that, not really. It's happy people, right? So it got men feeling like you got to be submissive to your woman almost. It got men feeling like you got to kind of back down and let a woman control shit. Nah, family. Nah, not at all. No man should be looking to physically control a woman's actions or who she is. But what I had to learn, men, a hard lesson I had to learn. If you're a leader, if you exude confidence in direction, she's going to follow you anyway. How about that? How about that? That's without you giving a threat. That's without you yelling or screaming. That's without you doing any of that shit. Just if your essence says leader and positive energy and forward moving, forward thinking, she'll follow you. Actually, she'll follow you. Your kids will follow you. The people around, the women around, the children, they'll follow you. But if you don't know where you're going, how you gonna lead your family? How you gonna lead your kids? How you gonna lead your woman? If you don't know if you don't know where you're going, if you lying to yourself about your life, if you lying to your woman about your life. See? So we have a problem in our community with how we treat each other, the violence, single parent home, like just the idea of not enough kids being born from two parents. We always get into the details behind that about how some of that is fallacy, but in general, we got to keep it real. Not enough of our babies are being born in the home with two parents. That's fact. We can break down all the statistics later, but that's fact. And we have to ask ourselves why, right? From a man's perspective, from the man's perspective, the reason why that's happening is because we have too many men that aren't living in their truth. Are you going to have men out here who are living in their truth, but get into a relationship with a woman? It's going great. They end up having a baby. The relationship don't work out. They break up. Now we got two homes that a kid has to go to. That's naturally going to happen in society. But let's keep it real. All too often, we sabotage our shit. All too often, we don't even give the kid a chance to have that type of home. Why? Because the man is not living in his truth, family. And that's it right there. So if you know any young dudes, you yourself, if you're a man watching this, ask yourself these questions. Are you relying on a woman for money? Are you relying on a woman for a place to stay? Do you spend most of your time chasing pussy? Do you work every day at a job you don't like, and on the weekends spend Saturday through Sunday looking for women to have sex with, looking for environments that have women so you can get their attention, so you can try to move and shake? Do you spend a lot of your time doing that? Do you? Because in my opinion, you want to know who somebody are, or you want to know who someone is. What do they do on their free time? I'm beginning to learn that more and more as I move forward in life. Whatever you do in your free time, that's who you really are, family. Because that's your time to yourself. You can do whatever you want. See, we got to stop being a slave to any type of career that we chosen. See, it all goes back to following your purpose. It all goes back to living your truth. We got too many people, men and women, who got jobs they hate. So the weekend is like a celebration. Family, in my opinion, a weekend shouldn't be a celebration. If you following your purpose, sometimes weekend is just too. Sometimes the weekend is like Monday and Tuesday around this motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? The weekend don't have to necessarily signify now it's time to turn up and let loose. A lot of times you're simply doing that because you hate what you're doing from Monday to Friday so much. That's your fault. Men, I'm speaking to you. That's your fault. See? So follow your purpose. Don't live off women. Don't randomly have kids with random women that you didn't even know that well just because it feels good to have raw sex. Like, being in control of your genitals is an art. being in control of your dick is an art that all men should master as soon as. And that's for us. I'm always speaking for myself, just to keep it real. That's for men like me who've had that problem. I know dudes who don't got a problem like that. They've always followed their purpose. It didn't even seem difficult for them fools to make sure their purpose was in front of whatever sexual energy they want to obtain from a woman. You see what I'm saying? So this is deep shit, family. But black men, we got to have conversations like this with ourselves. We can't always put it off on women or put it off on society and all these different things. When in actuality, if you just control your sexual energy and focus on following a path that you think best fits your future, everything you want will happen in your life, family. You feel me? This is your brother Harrison, man. This is the Melanated Convo. Don't forget to subscribe, man. Subscribe to the Melanated Convo on YouTube. Subscribe to all the digital platforms: Overcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. All of these different places you can find the Melanated Convo. Please do me a favor, family. If you like listening to audio opposed to watching a video, go to one of these platforms, leave a review, download the podcast, subscribe as much as you can. Tell everybody, tell a friend. Black men, we got to do better, man. You feel me? I'm out.